You'll know when you have a wild woman. She'll practice her craft without boundaries. She is truly autonomous. Her loyalty is only to the family she serves, a midwife who will not allow herself to be held back by a system she didn't create.
This podcast is for the birth keepers who want to grow and change. We are open to learning through self-reflection and supportive community. We are creating this space to explore without judgment. We are remembering we were
Born wild. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Born Wild podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Sophia Henderson. Today, I get to share my interview with Rochelle, who is a very special story for me because I was her doula. She was one of my very first births. At the top of my head, I want to say it was like the 7th birth I had ever attended. And then 10 years later, plus, I get to be her midwife. It was really sweet to come full circle with her. And I'm really happy to share her story with you. Enjoy. Hi, Rochelle. Thanks for meeting with me on Zoom. It's so funny to see you virtually because we just saw each other a few days ago in person.
No problem.
So will you start by just introducing yourself, your family, and then you can roll right into briefly your first birth experience and what that was like for you, and then we'll talk about your home birth with your son.
Sounds good. All right. So I'm Rochelle, and my family, is my husband, and with as you just alluded to, my daughter is 11. I'm going to be 12 at the end of October, and then my son, who is 9 months old. And so you said with the first birth. Okay, that's harder to remember because they said she's 11, so almost 12. It comes and goes, bits and pieces. So that one.
So maybe like how you found out you were pregnant, and how did you decide where you wanted to give birth, like hospital, birth center, home, and what your pregnancy was like, just a little bit about that.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. All right. So it was not planned. I mean, it was and it wasn't, because I just definitely, I felt very, I need to have a baby now. baby now. But so in a way, planned like that. But was it the best time? Probably not. I wasn't thinking that. But where to give birth? I'm trying to remember. How do I even know about midwives and birth centers? I don't even remember. I can't remember. How did I know about that?
Somehow it was just in your consciousness.
Oh, yes. So
did it ever cross your mind to give birth in the hospital? I mean,
no.
was that ever a plan from the beginning, or it was always a plan to give birth at the birth center?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, it was just, so first of all, at first there was just no plan. It was just need to have a baby, but not thinking this baby needs to be born somewhere. But as far as I can remember, I wasn't even living here in Santa Rosa yet. But I knew that I would be living here. So I remember looking up birth centers, but how did I know about that? That's the part I don't remember. Hopefully it'll just come to me. But yeah, once I started thinking about where, okay, there is a baby. Okay, this baby needs to be born somewhere. Yes, it's going to be a birth center because I don't have a home yet. I was just leaving one home, moving into another, and it was not ready at all just before I was born. So that's why the home birth was out of the question. But yeah, I just always knew no hospital. And I just already knew right enough that yes, that just wasn't for me to give birth, because I knew there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just having a baby. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't need to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
And
Did you have any experiences of, like, friends who had had babies at birth centers, or were you, like, kind of the first of your friends, or, like, I assume, were you, like, born in a hospital, or, like, did you have a
yeah,
negative association with hospitals, or
yeah, I was born in a hospital, and yeah, my mom, yeah, I mean, I saw my baby book, so I knew which hospital,
Mhm,
and and yeah, she told me just how long it was, like 24-hour. I was a 24-hour birth experience,
mhm.
and it just happened to be that the hospital was on strike at the time or
Oh,
something. So all the maintenance was, and so my dad, as dads can often be, and my dad especially, just very nervous that oh, there's my dog. Oh,
hi,
Pink.
Pink. My daughter's
But
in love with your dog because don't they have the same birthday?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they have the same
October
birthday,
17th.
and
Yeah,
Gracie's favorite color is pink, and the dog's name's Pink, so it's just, like, her favorite thing ever.
that is so cute. Yeah, it's hard not to love her. But so where was I?
There was a strike at the hospital.
I got struck in the hospital. So he gets nervous, and since it was going on so long and there's nothing he can do,
Mhm.
so he starts fixing equipment and stuff at the hospital.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Which sounds so funny. So that's I don't know. I always thought of it as like, I don't know, neither here nor there. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah, you're born in a hospital, and that's a funny story and sounds like my dad. And did he get a discount? I never heard for all of his work, all of his labor.
It's funny, he's like, "Here's what we'll do, I won't charge you,
Yeah, exactly.
but we're gonna
Uh,
leave."
yes. And then as far as friends, yeah, I did have, thinking of one who was my earliest like friend, like from preschool even, like she had
Wow.
her daughter, like, in a hospital, but we didn't talk about it much. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It was just very focused on the baby, and
Mhm.
I think it was a long time before I still felt young, so I wasn't thinking about my baby yet.
Mhm.
And then I was trying to think who was even had babies then. As far as my husband's friends, we were definitely the first
Mhm.
to have a baby. And um, I don't know. Yeah, I did have friends who had. I'm trying to think of, yeah, this one friend, like from work specifically, she might have had a home birth. Can't remember. But
Mhm.
yeah, obviously nothing that really
Stood out.
stuck with me.
Yeah,
The reason why, like where it would have come from.
yeah.
I remember like I don't know, listening probably on the radio, like just something about birth. And I remember thinking that was like the first time I heard anything about that concept of like a hospital. It's like there's nothing wrong with me. Why would I have a baby at the hospital? And about midwives and um how how long this tradition is, and how multicultural it's all over the world. And it's just like once I heard, I think I was just like in love with the idea. I have to have a midwife. But and then that was the reason why not at home, because my home wasn't ready.
Right, yeah. What was your pregnancy like? Pretty straightforward, or did you have any funky stuff come up, or
No, it was pretty straightforward. Nothing funky. But
Mhm.
nothing out of the ordinary at all. It's funny because in hindsight, it looks like it was so smooth, but at the time, because like I said, I was um I was just moving, and and like looking for a house while pregnant. And
Oh gosh.
um, so I didn't know. Yeah. So it was funny because that reminds me. So yeah, it's kind of funny like that. So this is 2008. No, 2009. Because yeah, that was my pregnancy. And so yeah, like, so it's the two coming out of the whole 2008, 2009, like economic kind of crisis at the time. Like that was kind of heavy, and people were losing jobs. My husband just lost his at the beginning of 2009. It was like coming back from the winter break, and you already just had a notice like, okay, you have 2 weeks and you're gone.
Oh
So,
God.
and I knew mine was coming like at the probably, I don't know, March, or no, not March, but maybe a little bit later, like May, I don't know. And so I was looking for another job. And then, then I got another job. And then my husband also got another job, like a couple, but we went in opposite directions. So for the listeners, if you know California and Sonoma County specifically, like we were in both in Sacramento, and then he went to Santa Rosa and I went to Eureka.
Oh
So
yeah. Mhm.
and then and then I my rationale with going to Eureka was that I don't know if he's gonna like his Santa Rosa job. So if he doesn't, then he can come up here with me.
Mhm.
And so we were just like that for a little while until yeah, he was just in it in Santa Rosa. It's like, okay, then I have to move to Santa Rosa
Yeah.
now. So
It's
and
committed.
and
Cool.
then
And
at the
this is
same
during
time,
your pregnancy.
yeah, all during my pregnancy. So
Mhm.
then I because this is March now. Okay, when I left my job and went to Santa Rosa. But even before I left, I was already found the birth center and already found that they had classes, and so I would still come down for my classes
Oh
and
yeah.
like weekly classes, and then with a doula, and then
And so
I
even when you were in Eureka, you were you were already like with the birth center and doing prenatals there and doing the
yeah,
classes. Okay.
exactly.
Mhm.
And then but then yeah, then I moved, and yep, just kept going. But
Mhm.
then we had to look for our house. So yeah, so getting so we so and then I don't know if it was when she was born. I think it was because the birth center offered like therapists, so you could go and see somebody. Like the first one is just included. So I was like, okay, sounds good. And in talking, I was like, I don't know if I'm depressed, or like I don't know. I've never been depressed before. I'm a very positive person. And then explaining what I just said, she said, no, you're just highly stressed
Mhm.
because that's a lot. She's like, any one of those things, losing a job, quitting a job, having to find another job, having to move, having to find a house, having a baby, all of those are, huge things. And then you did all of those at the same time. So that's just highly stressed. And I was like, oh, good. I'm not depressed. Thanks. And immediately felt better. Like, oh, that makes sense. And but of course, until she said it, those are all big things.
Yeah.
Hadn't occurred to me that those are all big things. I was just
Uh-huh.
like, this is just what I need to do.
Right, right. You just had to get through it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So oddly enough, I I don't know. I still think I was gonna say it didn't really affect my birth, but at the same time, I don't know. Like I have questions about my daughter still, like if that was that nervous, not nervous, but kind of the stress like did come out in her, but I can't remember exactly what now.
Mhm.
I
Like
just
in
do.
her, like personality, or is that what you mean? Or
Yeah, and her personality, or just as a baby, yeah, like just
uh-huh.
um I don't know, but they're all very normal things. Like, because, like, for example, her sucking her thumb, but that's just normal. Like, people, that just happens. Like, babies do that. And my son does that too. Well, he did not like her at all, but like, he just thought it was fun for a little bit to be like cool, my thumb. And then he switched it up. Hey, there's more of these digits. I'm gonna suck on these fingers. I'm gonna say, oh, how about these fingers? And then it wasn't like a thing. Like with her, it was a very like needed to suck her thumb. And I thought at first, I just thought it was, um, I don't know. I was so happy that she knew how to calm herself
Yeah,
and
like
that,
self-soothing and
yeah, to soothe herself. And yeah, I just thought that was so great that she knew how to do that. And it continued from, I want to say, I would bet, I don't have proof because I didn't like to take very many ultrasounds, but I would be willing to bet that she was sucking her thumb, on the inside.
yeah, I bet
Right,
too.
in
Yeah,
utero,
yeah, totally.
because
So, so at what point in your pregnancy did you get your home?
like in August of 2009, and she was born in October of 2009. So at the end of my pregnancy.
Uh, were you feeling kind of settled in by the time she came and you were postpartum, or there's still a lot to do?
Yeah, exactly. There
Yeah,
was a lot to do. I was still not settled. And
yeah.
but
And go
it
ahead.
was yeah, go ahead. It was all nice, like just how comfortable it was though. I mean, it wasn't because there was so much to do, but I didn't think about it.
Hmm.
Um, just like I didn't need it to be all there, because I thought it was fine that it wasn't.
Yeah,
And um and all I needed was that, um
just like the security of having your home.
just the home. Yeah, we have our home. And so yeah, that was a huge relief.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that, yes, that I had it already, that she's going to be born at this birth center.
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and um and I already knew what that was supposed to be like. I mean, you don't know until it happens, but
Right.
it's somewhere else. And it was,
Yeah.
like, going with the birth, yeah, because it was such a nice experience. I
Yeah.
really
Oh, at what point did we meet? How far along were you? Do you remember?
Oh, interesting. I don't know. I don't remember how long the meet the doula night.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, we met at Meet the Doula Night. It was at the beginning of my doula career. Um, and I remember we met in this home that you're in. So it had
yeah,
to have been after you had the home.
yep,
Yeah,
that's
because I
true.
remember meeting in that room.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but I don't remember like how far.
because we met, yeah, I mean, at the birth center.
Hmm.
Yeah, when, like, for the meet the doula night. And then how long? Oh yeah, then we met at Pete's for another meeting, and then in Petaluma. And then I don't remember how long. Yeah, it was here. Oh yeah, so I must have still had my house though. I remember driving from here to Petaluma. So
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
I think if my memory is right, that you were my first like hired client. All the other births before, I had been on like an on-call calendar, um,
Um,
where, I wasn't sure if I was ready to like commit to like being on call for a birth. So I would sign up on days that I was available on a calendar. Like, oh, Monday's a good day for me. So if somebody happens to be in labor that day, they could call the
wow.
on-call calendar. And so there were people that I hadn't connected with prenatally. And so that was the first Meet the Doula night that I went going like, okay, I think I'm ready to like take on a family and like be on call for them and get to know them ahead of time. And yeah, I think you were the first one.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, I know. I remember thinking, like, yes, she is so young, but but I really like her. Yeah, I just think I'm like, I totally, and yeah, you just already were so professional and already seemed so. I'm like, I just really trusted you to fight for me. So
Yeah. I know, I remember that being a factor for me. I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if, like, me not having had kids yet is gonna be an issue," or, and it just never ended up being. It was actually a lot easier to attend births before I had children, because now I have,
right,
like, the childcare factor,
yeah,
but, all I had to do then was just, like, fill the cat bowl with food and be on my way, and
Um,
Wow. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
but, okay, yeah, so, yeah, we met and, I was planning on attending as your doula, and so maybe take us into, you know, labor. How did that all start for you and unfold?
Mm, let's see. Okay, so labor. It started, I was out eating frozen yogurt, and I think that's when um, yeah, contractions started then. And then came home, and still kind of, yeah, just must have kept happening. And enough that I realized, okay, because the question is always, is it Braxton Hicks? Are these real contractions?
Mhm.
And it was already after her due date, so I assumed it was real contractions. And and I think I called you, and then I remember, I don't know, I can't remember. I remember
Mhm,
calling
mhm.
you to say, all right, it's starting. And then um yeah, I kind of remember talking to you about when to go to the birth center. No, actually, I don't even remember that. Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't remember.
I know that I definitely met you at your house, so I don't
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right.
it might have been a conversation we had at the house, like, figuring out when to go because we were there for a little while.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that totally, yeah, came back. I still can't remember exactly, but I remember that because um yeah, I remember you meeting at our house and walking around my house with putting towels down and out, and then and suggestions like for, walking with Conrad, and breathing, and um I don't know. Yeah, that was nice. I mean, in retrospect.
I'm trying to remember, your mom was there, right?
Oh yeah, oh my
Because
goodness.
I
Yeah.
re was she timing the contractions?
Maybe.
I
I
have
know
a memory of this,
she,
like, sheet of paper,
yes,
like, she literally
yes,
wrote out every single one.
that's hilarious. Yeah, I do remember that now. I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but I remember you telling me that you did that.
Right.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
remember following you around. You were just holding on to Conrad and walking around, like, make a loop, and I remember I was going behind you, like, cleaning up because you were leaking, and then I was like, "Okay,
Yep.
there has to be an easier way than this." And so then I just laid towels in a loop, and you just followed the towels. I was like, "Oh, that would be better."
Yep, much easier.
So I was like, "This is a never-ending project. What am I doing?"
I know. Live and learn, yes. That's
Yeah, is there anything else from laboring at home that you remember, or does your memory kind of pick up again? Like, what about the car ride? Do you remember that, or just
gosh.
more so at the birth center?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, the car ride. I just don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, you must have, if you were here, you must have said, like, okay, now's the time. I have no idea actually. But somehow I was in the car, and I remember um telling Conrad to hurry because it was I don't know what time we went. It might have been around 2, was it? And then she was born at 4:40, I think. And yeah, I feel like it was around 2. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I just remember that because yeah, it's just so uncomfortable to I mean, not like it's ever comfortable to have contractions, but yeah, it just hurt so much. I just wanted to get to the birth center that I thought somehow it'll be better when I'm there. I don't know. So just like, okay, just don't even stop. Just hurry up.
Well,
Which is like,
the car
I
is a
live,
special kind of torture too. Yeah, when you're in the
yeah.
Mhm.
But and I mean, it was good that we live close to the birth center, and thinking
Mhm.
about how some people were going there and lived much further,
Mhm.
and thinking later, I was like, how did they do that?
Mhm.
But yeah.
So what do you remember from being at the birth center, like, leading up to pushing her out?
Mm, I remember, yeah, being on a bed and Conrad being in a chair and my mom kind of being around, but not totally. I don't remember. I just remember, yeah, the midwife and that there was nurses, and I really hated when she wanted to something like check my temperature or check, I don't know, just do checking on things
All the
because
vitals. Mhm.
it would disrupt my I don't know. Oh, because yeah, I remember that was part of like the class, like was the, visualizing being somewhere. And so I would visualize I was on the beach and the sun was like shining on my stomach. And then every time they'd have to do something, it would just take me out of being at the beach. And it's like, I'm at the beach right now. Can we not do this?
Yeah,
Do we
yeah.
have to do this? And so I just remember that, and I couldn't wait till I could get in the tub because I just knew that I wanted to be in the tub, and yeah, so they were waiting until something, but and then once they said okay, I could get in the tub, I was definitely excited. Got in the tub, and and then I remember next is just the pushing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, tell us about
probably
that.
telling me I don't even know what before that, actually, I can't remember. But, yeah, the pushing because, like, I would want to push, but yeah, and then just seeing you would be, like, right in front of me at the tub, and I was just, like, following you, like, whatever your cadence, like, your breathing, and then trying to slow it down, and then I remember, like, yeah, then it's just like can't help it. Like once at some point, like you just feel like you have to push.
Mhm.
And I was just pushing, but but yeah, being told not to push, just breathe and to focus on the breathing. So I was trying to do that. And then
Most
until
women who are told that express that being, like, the hardest part of their labor, to
it,
be
it
told not to push when your body's already doing it.
your body, yeah, my body just wanted to push. It's
Mhm,
just, and then I felt like I couldn't not push,
mhm,
and but trying to just breathe and not push
mhm.
until like it felt like her head started to come out, and that hurt so much that and I was just like, never again, like I'm pushing. And then I just remember just like just kind of yelling. I have no idea how loud it was, but just saying, "She's coming." And then being told, "Stand up," because I wasn't standing yet.
Uh-huh.
And there
'Cause
she came, but
you were in the
I
tub.
in the tub,
Do you remember why they
and
wanted you to stand up?
because she was, I don't know. I just
Oh,
remember, like, yeah, I was being told stand up, so I stood up, but I didn't even think about catching her or holding her or being there for her. So I didn't. And then yeah, she just dove into the tub.
mhm. Swan
and,
dove, swan
and then
dive,
who
dove.
and who picked her up? I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. I can't remember that
Mhm,
either.
mhm,
I just remember thinking, "Yep, she's coming." Like
mhm. Yeah, yeah. Do you remember anything about your placenta being born?
Um, kind of like, let's see. Um, yeah, just remember, yes, obviously being exhausted, laying down, baby on top of me. And then, yeah, I mean, like, yes, and probably, no, actually, I don't remember because,
Yeah,
yes, the, the the new baby's experience, like, kind of takes over. I can't remember about the
yeah, it
placenta
does.
at all.
Yeah. What do you remember about anything immediately postpartum? Did everything go pretty smooth? Your bleeding was good, baby was good.
Yeah, baby was so good. She was amazing because she knew how to. how to latch like right away. She just found my nipple herself, and she just knew how to suck,
Mm,
and then she did. She ate, and then she fell asleep, and I fell asleep,
mhm.
and it was so nice. And then um what else did you say?
What about, like, your breastfeeding journey? Was that pretty smooth the whole time, or did you have any complications?
No, no complications. She just always knew what to do,
Mhm.
and how to do it. And yeah, I just always, yeah, nursed her. And um yeah, I don't remember any complications with breastfeeding.
Mhm. Mm. Well, what about the 11-year gap? What unfolded for your, family during that time, and how did you decide to have another baby?
So we did not decide the second one either. So and I was very confused if I wanted to have another one or not. So
Mhm,
I kept having feelings of feeling sad, feeling bad that I didn't have any more children and that I only had one. And then and we kept like so many things of hers because thinking that it's probably going to happen, we're probably going to have another one, but also at the same time not wanting another one because kept having feelings of this one was so perfect that I just I can't have another one like that, right? Like, so I just felt like it wasn't going to be good, and the next one wasn't gonna. It wasn't all going to be perfect. So not
Meaning
that it had
the
to be
birth or
perfect.
the child or all of it? Or
Everything. Yeah,
yeah.
just everything. So, and knowing that, yes, it doesn't need to be perfect, or what I think is perfect. Like when I have another one, that one could be perfect, but in a different way.
Mm.
And but I
Speaking
just
of
was always
perfect, I actually remember saying to you, like, how amazing your birth is, and I'd, like, wish that birth on anyone, and you were like, "You would wish that on someone?"
I did. That's exactly what I said because I'm so glad you said it because yeah, it was nice to know that it was a good birth. And
Uh,
looking back, yeah, it was a really good birth. Just birth is just hard.
yeah,
So
yeah.
no matter what, no matter how perfect it is, like I can't imagine that anybody would have it not hard, but uh, but yeah, there were no complications, so I could see why you would say, yes, I would
Yeah.
wish
I was like,
that.
I mean, I wouldn't wish it on them without their permission,
Yeah,
like, not
yeah.
some not some, like, stranger walking down the street. But,
That would be weird, yeah.
but to just have it unfold, like, very smooth and just, like,
Yeah,
have it be what it's meant to be, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was such a good team. Like everybody there was so good because the way the birth center works, like there's 3, 4, like 3, I don't remember, 3 or 4 midwives, and you meet with all of them and for your different appointments. And then and so far I had only met 3 of them, and so there was still one I hadn't met. I tell the very end, like she was the last one for my last appointment, and I
Mhm,
just met her. And then she happened to be the one that was on call at the time of the birth then. And I kept there was another one that I was just assuming it was going to be her because I had seen her the most.
mhm.
And I was so surprised it was just this new one, but she did, I don't know, like I remember it being really good, and all the
Yeah.
nurses
I
there.
do have kind of a memory that popped up just now of, I think it was your birth, where the midwife was telling you something and you would just look at me like, "What is she saying?" Like, you just couldn't even, like, hear her. It was almost like a connection thing, that you couldn't connect enough with her to, like, hear what she's saying, and it wasn't even, like, medical jargon, but you would, like, look at me like, "What?" And I would just repeat what she said. You're like, "Oh, okay."
I don't remember that, but I remember like looking at you as if to say, why are people talking to me? I can't say anything. I
Yeah.
don't want to listen. It was more, I don't want to listen.
Uh-huh,
I don't want to
uh-huh.
talk. I just why are people talking to me?
They're touching me, they're talking to me, I'm just trying to enjoy the beach.
Yes, I'm just on the beach right now. Just gonna stay here until my baby comes. Yeah,
Uh,
probably looking at you as if to translate.
yes, yeah, yeah. Okay, so your son decided to come, it was not up to you.
No.
Yeah. So were you like preventing pregnancy all those years, or were you just kind of like, oh, if it happens, it happens, or a little bit of both, or?
No, no, it was always, if it happens, it happens,
Mm-hmm.
because I kind of wanted another one. But at the same time, sometimes I would feel like, well, I'm glad it hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I would feel, I'm so sad it hasn't happened. I don't know. It's just, I
Mm-hmm.
kept like going through everything, but always leaving it open, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So, um, like it could at any time, but I just am still so surprised, but that's the way, like
Mm-hmm.
11 years later.
Yeah.
And so no, I would have not have planned that, um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So he came into your life and you guys were pleasantly surprised, I'm sure. And
Oh yeah,
how was his pregnancy? How was your pregnancy with him?
yeah, yeah, it was definitely good, but I always had um concerns, like just because thinking it's been so long, I'm so much older, like
Mhm,
that, like I don't know how it's gonna be. Like, am I really gonna be able to have a baby? Which, yes, I know you can,
mhm,
um, but like to deliver this person and
mhm,
and yeah, but it was good, but it was much more, definitely not as peaceful in a way, which sounds funny, like to think
mhm,
of what I just said about my first one, about, layoffs and job changes. And
mhm,
so it just felt busier. I don't know. That's so
mhm.
weird.
Like,
But
emotionally, you weren't at peace? Like, your mind was
yeah,
running away and
yeah, because I was taking, I think, a class at the JC, and or maybe two, I don't remember. And then and my final, maybe it was just one, because my final was supposed to be on the baby's due date.
mhm,
And then but it and then I also was working still, and I don't know. It was just felt like, I don't know, it was just so I don't know. It was definitely not perfect with the first one, but it felt more like it, because it just felt smaller, and my world did. Like, even though
well,
it's
and
like,
you had a
yeah,
COVID baby too, so, like, how did that, being pregnant during COVID, how was that for you?
see, it was okay at first. Oh, actually, it was perfect at first, because, which is not a good thing to say about the whole COVID thing, but it was just because, yeah, I don't know. I was purposely not paying attention, probably, and it's just that we were supposed to work from home, and
Mm,
so that was perfect. That I was happy that I didn't have to go anywhere to work, and then which is probably what a lot, and then the same for school, that was just online too, so I wasn't going anywhere. And then so yeah, I don't know, I just, so I guess that part, I just thought, okay, this is nice. I'm just, so a lot of people didn't even know that I was pregnant. Like, if you
mhm,
saw me, especially at the end, it was very obvious. So, and but I remember a lot of people being surprised that once the announcement came, like,
mhm.
yeah, that and baby's healthy, mom is healthy, and they're like, "What? There's a baby?" Yeah. Oh yeah, you haven't seen me because we've been working from home,
Yeah,
and um, and so in a way, it was kind of peaceful like that, but I don't know, but a lot of like distractions, I guess, because of all of that. Oh, because yeah, mind wandering about this whole COVID thing,
mm,
and also, you know, work and school, and um, I
yeah.
don't know.
So how
Yeah.
did having a home birth come up for you?
I think it was always it just immediately, like after the first one, probably I can't remember if you had follow-up questions and stuff as, doula, like
Mhm.
about things. And probably, I mean, I remember I like, writing something about my experience. And I remember that. I remember actually because I found it, during while I was pregnant with the second one, and that's what made me call you because or maybe not. I was just like, I found the message that said if I have another one, because you were studying to be a midwife, when you were, and then I would definitely have her as a midwife for my second one.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
was like,
like a testimonial kind of thing. Uh-huh.
yeah, a
Mhm.
testimonial. And I was like, well, I'm gonna stick to that. And yes, I will. I will call Sophia to be my midwife. And but so therefore a home birth, because the only thing I didn't like about the birth center was that drive, having to
Mhm,
drive there.
mhm.
So
You're like, "If I just don't have to leave."
yeah, exactly. If I could just stay home.
Well, I
So
remember when you reached out to me and, oh my god, I was so excited because the idea of having supported you so early on
yeah.
too, and, like, getting a chance to do it again where I am in my education
Mhm.
and we've stayed in touch over the years. It wasn't like we hadn't seen each other
Right.
in 10, 11 years, we had done tea parties together at my mom's house, and
Exactly.
yeah, so, I was really excited, and then we met up at your house, and I remember I guess you didn't know that I wasn't doing doula work anymore. You thought I, like, did both, and you're like, "Yeah, we're
Yeah.
still, trying to feel out if we're gonna do birth center or home birth," and I was like, "Oh, well, I actually only do home birth. I don't do doula work anymore." And you were like, "Oh." And you looked at Conrad and you're like, "I wanna have a home birth." He was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." And I
Ex
remember being like, "Oh, is this gonna be weird?" Or like, is he
yeah.
gonna be like, "I don't wanna have a home birth," but yeah, I was just like, "Alright, so it's settled, we're having a home birth."
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And he was just very on board with any way I wanted to give birth.
Mhm.
I totally thought he was going to make me go to the hospital and have a doctor because it's under the insurance, because that's how
Mm.
he sounds sometimes. Oh, because I try to go out of network like all the time. Not
Mhm.
like I try to, but I don't care if it is. And then he told me he's like, try to stay in network. And then so that's why I thought he would
Ah.
totally make me have it at a hospital and have a doctor,
Uh-huh.
until he said, no, I don't remember what I said about, or maybe even showed him my note, or I don't know. And he said, and then he just said, well, call her or get in contact with her
Uh-huh.
because you can have any whatever kind of birth you want. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, well, that makes me feel so much better because it is too stressful. Like if I had to have it at a hospital, it sounds awful. I
And
mean, it always
as it
sounded
should be, it's your body, it should be up to you.
yeah. So I was so happy that he was so
Mhm.
supportive that
Good.
just wherever, however you want it. And yeah, and because like it's during COVID, like I definitely didn't, I always didn't want to have it at a hospital and I didn't want to have a doctor,
Mhm.
but I really didn't want to now either. I mean, at that point.
Yeah.
So I was glad that he was okay with it. He's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. Like just yeah,
Mhm. Yeah. So
fine.
what about leading up to his, birth time? I'm sure that's a little bit fresher in your mind. What
Yeah.
was his, labor and everything like for you?
Yeah, it was good, being at home, but yeah, the same thing, like, so his con how it started, when the contractions happened. Oh my goodness, okay, so yeah, it was the Feast of Saint Nicholas,
Mhm.
and I remember, so I was at, um yeah, because he's born on a Monday. So yeah, I was at mass, came home. Oh yeah, so we had dinner and then we were watching something. I don't remember watching what. So yeah, it was during mm, what's it called? No, my mind's blanking. So yeah, we were, because I remember that's our tradition. No, I don't think. Oh yeah, it must have been that, even though she was like doing a distance learning school, that she was, um, yeah, she remembered being excited, from the birth, being like, I can't go to school. I just had a baby. My mom just had a little, my baby brother.
Oh.
So, and then, and, but I remember, yeah, so the night before we were, oh, no, it was that we were praying. And then that's when I remember I was trying to count like how long or keep track, or I don't remember, like, to see. I think I was taking notes to see how long it was. And then and yeah, that's all I remember. Like that's where it started.
Mm,
And then kind of just keeping track and kind of trying to look up stuff like to see how long, I don't remember. And
mhm,
then how long before I call you, because I just want to make sure, I mean, that they are birth contractions.
mhm,
And then I finally did call you because I felt like I was all alone, because I didn't want to um, tell my husband yet, because I knew that I don't remember, like, if it was that because he needed to get his rest or something, and I didn't feel like I could rest. So I was trying to, like, I was going to, I remember looking at, like, okay, I'm going to start a movie and I'm just going to watch something and relax, and then, or watch TV or something, like a show, and then relax. And then still at the same time, like, keeping track of the contractions. And um, then I don't know, remember,
mhm.
kind of went on like that, but just being by myself.
I
And
remember when you called me, I could tell you were like, wanted me there, but didn't want me to come too soon and weren't sure. And I think I basically said, you know, how about I just come over? And you're like, yes.
yes,
That's the right answer.
exactly, because that's what, yeah, you always said. So it's not a yes, then it's not what you really want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to ask for it either, because I didn't know if it was too soon. But it
Uh-huh.
ended up being perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
And I remember saying like, "Oh, I'll just kind of like hang out and like feel where we're at before I decide whether I'm going to call Leah or not." And I think it was like two
yeah.
contractions later, I was like, "Okay, I think I should call the assisting midwife."
That was perfect too. Exactly. So
Yeah.
that was good. That was good. So
Yeah.
yeah, it
And then
wasn't
what else do you remember?
um I know, not a whole lot. Yeah. So Conrad, I remember, like, I can't remember when he decided to start filling in the tub. And
Mhm.
but yeah, it was at a good time, because I remember you saying, "Oh yeah, if you want to get in, you can get in." And because
Mhm.
I didn't know if there was such a, because I remember from the birth center having to wait to get in. And then so yeah, just, but it didn't feel as like comfortable or or um or what I remembered of being in the tub before. It's
Mhm.
just it was kind of, I mean, it was more comfortable because I was at home for sure, but it wasn't because, I don't know, it just, maybe it was because it was earlier, and then it was already feeling like, I don't know, it just wasn't as comfortable for some reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember. And then yeah, you always saying, yeah, you can always get out and change positions, and and try stuff out until, yeah, I finally was just too hot. And I remember, like, yes, I have to get out of here and do something else. Like, I don't know what that is, but I just need to do something else.
Yeah, just mix it up. Mhm.
Yep. And then that's what I did. And then being on the bed and
Do you remember when your water broke?
mm, no.
Yeah, my notes say that you were standing and we heard a splash, and that's how we knew. So it was a substantial amount of water.
Wow. No, I don't remember that. How
Yeah.
funny.
And what do you remember about pushing?
Mm. I just feel like it was again the whole um well that I just can't help it. Like I
Mhm.
have to push. And I remember, yes, you saying to like to try and I don't remember exactly what you're saying, but basically to and because it wasn't like before, like to not to push, but it was still like to just breathe through it or something. And I remember that being hard again.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah, it was kinda like, if you cannot push, like,
yeah,
don't force it, because we weren't, like, checking your dilation or anything, so it's the idea that, don't push just to push, to, like, be like, "I'm done
right.
with this, I wanna get it over with," but, like,
Oh
if
yeah.
if your body's doing it, like, listen to your body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I remember saying that. I don't remember at what point, like to you, like thinking, like, yeah, what about all those, in TV shows, movies where, like, yeah, they're being told to push and stuff, and it's just like thinking after experiencing this twice, it's like I don't know why anybody needs to be told to push. Like you have to be told, like, not to, like, you just can't help it.
And you
But I
started
guess
pushing in the tub, so you eventually got back in.
did I?
Mhm. Yeah,
Ah,
because you got back in and you started pushing when you were in there, and then you ended up
oh,
getting out again.
that I don't even remember. I remember, yeah, I kind of do actually. I remember, um, yeah, racing against Conrad for stability, for balance, to climb
Mhm,
out and to climb out. And I remember not wanting to do either, like to climb in or out, because I was like,
mhm.
that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, but then still wanting to do whichever one it was, like to get in or out more. It took over, and like it. And then I thought it's worth it because I need to get to the other side.
Yeah, yeah.
And and then yeah, so then eventually, yeah, I was out and yeah, it was just closer. Yeah, it was like getting close and yeah, um
Do you remember how long you pushed with your daughter?
no. And now I still don't have those notes either
Mhm.
to get those.
Yeah.
But
How was pushing for you at the end, like, when he was crowning and coming out and everything? What was going on for you? Because at that point, you were on the bed and on hands and
yep.
knees.
Yep. And I don't know, I just again, yeah, I don't know. Like I remember with my daughter, I just definitely didn't I was very didn't care about anything other I mean, like as far as what I'm, wearing, who can see what, like it was just like I don't
Mhm,
care. And I just need to do what I'm doing right now.
mhm.
And if you're here and this is what you see, this is what you see. But I remember sort of it was like that too with the second birth because but I just still, I don't know, just remember pushing and because I can't help it. And then, yeah, it definitely felt like it was harder
Mhm.
because, um, yeah, she, like, it just happened with her. Like I said, it just, was like, she's coming, and then him, it was just like, is he coming? Like, I feel like I'm pushing and this is hard and I don't know how much longer I can do this. And I think you must have said something to the effect that it was like, it's soon, like, yeah. And yeah, you need to do it again or a few more, or like, because I remember,
I think we just kept changing your position every time you were like, I don't know. We're like, let's do a
yeah,
new position.
new position. Yes, exactly. And that was good. That was definitely helpful too. Even though, again, like I felt like, no, I can't because that's gonna hurt. Everything feels like, no, I can't because it's gonna hurt. But then it felt like, but I have to do it because no matter what, it's gonna hurt.
You're like,
So
I'm not getting in the car at this point.
yeah, exactly. And then exactly. And then pushing and then yeah, then one's crowning. Yeah. But that's what I still was like, is he there? Because like it feels like he is. And then and yeah, and then but I didn't know that yeah, he did started coming out and but didn't keep going. So then and then yeah, I think that's when you're like, okay, just need to do it again and like one more. And I think he might have said something like that. Like just like with one more, he'll be out. And I'm like, okay. But I remember thinking like in my head, I don't think I actually said this out loud, but in my head, I was like telling him, I'm like, okay, it's me and you, baby.
Oh.
It's just me and you, baby.
Hmm.
Let's do this. Let's do this, baby. And thinking like I can't do this much more, but I will. I'm gonna do this and we're doing it together right now.
That's
And
beautiful.
I was so glad to know that yesterday came out. And then I don't think I knew about how did I know about his hand up? Like when did I find out? Like it you told me after or
I think we
definitely
told
not
you
during.
after because
Yeah,
he
definitely.
pushed for almost 2 hours, and I think you had said something like you were kinda like, "Why did that take so long this time?" And, it was like, oh, he had his little hand up right by his face, so when he was crowning and then his head came out, you could see his little hand right by his face, and, we didn't say anything, but Leah and I looked at each other like, "Ah, that's what was taking so long." And and then we thought like, okay, I think that's when we said, probably on the next contraction, your baby's going to come. But he didn't, he came out a little bit more, but then he kind of
Yeah.
pulled back in. But his color looked great and everything seemed fine. And so I think his head was out, our notes said, for about 5 minutes before
Wow.
his body was born. But his body came out to like his chest and he was already crying. And I remember you stopped pushing and you went, "Oh, is he here?" And we were like, "Almost. Keep going." I know it sounds like he's born, but half of him is still in you.
Yeah. Because I was like, yay, he's here.
I hear him crying like I'm done. We're like, "No, not yet."
Yeah, I think that's the way. Oh, that's it. It's so funny now knowing him. That's just so him. But yeah, I like to just like yeah, I'm just not gonna do it all right now. I'm not totally gonna go yet.
Yeah. Well, Leah always jokes that boys hate to leave their mothers, so he was just lingering.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, those boys.
Yeah. And then and then he was born.
And then he was finally here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that feeling like it was taking a long time.
Yeah. And then what do you remember about, your placenta?
Ah. I, that is it just feels like that's like the worst thing to have to get the placenta out because it just felt like there was so much work just to get the baby and then to be told all right you got to push the placenta out like
Uh-huh.
I don't want to. And all the options were terrible because I remember asking that and explain it to me again. What are my options?
Yeah,
Either.
it took a little over 2.5 hours to get your placenta out. Yeah. You had tried all sorts of positions,
Yeah.
and yeah, you went to the bathroom, you were in the shower for a little bit because we thought maybe your bladder was full, keeping it in. We tried some tinctures, some homeopathy. Um, and do you remember the thing that did the trick?
Nope.
We had you were laying on your back on the bed, and we had you hold on to one of our hands and
Okay.
then do
Okay.
like a crunch and like sit
Oh,
up holding our hands because like that pressure and engaging your abs. And then we just like held onto the cord because we knew the placenta had already detached. It was just like sitting there. And so we held the cord, and when you crunched up, we just like pulled gently, and it was just like bloop right out. Uh,
oh yeah. Because I kind of, yeah, it's okay. I remember definitely, I was gonna say that. I remember holding hands,
uh-huh.
but I don't remember. I kind of remember, yeah, crunching.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then being so happy that yes, it was out now. It's
Mhm.
like good.
Done.
Now now birth complete. Like,
Yes. Now you can
now.
rest. Yeah, yeah. It did play a role in postpartum though, because he was already like pretty sleepy at that point. So it felt like that like window of nursing, right after birth kind of had passed by a little.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because he didn't really do like a big nursing session right after.
No, I guess not. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I don't have that memory.
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't
What's your
remember.
memory of, the postpartum period with him and breastfeeding and that whole journey?
Hmm. It's funny because, all right, so one thing I said was that I can't imagine how do you nurse without a rocking chair? So I had this rocking chair that we got from somebody getting rid of it. And so going there after my daughter's horse riding lesson to go pick it up. And I remember being in it, like seeing it and being disappointed. Like this is not the kind of chair that I was imagining.
Hmm.
And I remember I kept looking at Conrad for him to say something like that would make sense. But I remember, but I should have stuck to um, my own advice, which is if it's a maybe, that means no. So only
Hmm.
yes is a yes.
Hmm.
And it was definitely not a yes, but I just remember, oh yeah, but that's what Conrad said. It's just like, just take it because we can always get rid of it if you don't want it. So I'm like, okay. And that finally like through it, made sense. It's like, okay, let's take it. And then we just kept trying this chair. And because the first one, I always fed her in the rocking chair, or actually it was a glider, and I just loved it. It was such a wonderful experience. But then it was so terrible in this chair with my son. But I kept trying different things. Like we had this like wedge thing to for me to lean against, and I'm so happy that we had that. But I moved it around, moved it from like the chase in the living room to my bed, and um and then would still try the rocking chair. Then we moved the rocking chair from the living room to our bedroom, and still was awful. And but other than that, like just the nursing him, and it was definitely good, no trouble. But I can't remember like when it was the first time. But yeah, he definitely had no problem um, binding, latching, and I could think the only thing was I don't remember. There was something though that had to do
I
with
think he like went a very long time without nursing.
Yeah, there was
I'm
a
trying to remember which day I came over. I probably have it in my notes, but I remember you expressed a little bit and we fed him either with like a spoon or a measuring cup or something.
yeah,
Um, and it was like as soon as the milk hit his lips, he was like, he like woke up and he was like, I'm hungry. And then he like from then on it was fine. But I think he went like a good couple days without like
yeah,
really
that's
even
right.
trying.
I remember. Oh yeah, not even.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that was a little, a
'Cause I remember
little,
I ended up leaving, like, a scale with you to keep an eye on weight just because
yeah.
he ended up dropping, like, 12%, and so we were just keeping an eye on it just because he had showed, like, no interest for a while, and then but as soon as he, like, tasted the milk that you had expressed, he was like, "Oh, okay."
Nice. That's a nice way to put it. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I don't remember that. Like for like that, that it was that he tasted and wanted to keep
Mhm.
going. But
Yeah, so it wasn't like it was, like, a latch issue, he was just
no,
sleeping.
just yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. Yeah, he was just very sleepy.
Mhm. Yeah.
But then yeah, then once he started, no issues.
Yeah, so okay, so my notes say that I came back at the 24 hours and you kind of reported that he's pretty much just sleeping the whole time and he just doesn't
Right.
really seem interested in nursing. And so we weighed him and we just said, "We'll, be in touch tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on it." And then the next day you had said that he still really hadn't nursed. And so that was when I came over and we tried expressing and it says that he drank about 3 mils of breast milk from a little cup and then was like, "Yes, please."
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah, cool. Was there anything else about your postpartum journey? I know when we had talked about, the birth and, like, the head being out for a while, and I kind of expressed to you how, you know, um, some care providers might have helped your baby out, but that I had felt it was important to not do that unless absolutely necessary because I didn't want it to change your story that you couldn't have gotten your baby out and that you needed help getting him out all the way. And I remember you expressing that that was really important to you, that I didn't take that piece of your story away.
Yeah, that really was. That was definitely big to me to find out that yeah, the other providers would have helped. And then that would have been my story that I couldn't deliver my baby. And
Mm,
I remembered this saying, I'm so happy that you waited because and let me do it because then I have this story of how hard it was to get his head, but this little hand up there out, and
mhm,
it's so funny because he still does that, puts his or and would always put his hand up by his
mm.
hand, and I'll look at him like, yep, that's just the way you came into the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just always look so relaxed, just resting your head on your hand, and
Uh,
then um but yeah, I was so glad that you didn't take that from me and that was just our story. That
mhm,
yeah, that was just our story that yeah, he had his hand up by his face and had to get all of that out and how long it took and everything. But at
mhm,
least it was our story and that I could um get him out. But I mean, it was good though that, and I was still so glad that you were here. I don't know where to go
yeah,
from.
so we were just chatting about how you felt when you found out that the baby's head had been out for X amount of time, and not all care providers, but definitely some would have just get the baby out, just help the baby out, especially when you had pushed a few more times and, he still hadn't, budged or had the rest of him be born. But that, unless it was necessary, I really didn't want to change your experience and change your birth story to be that you needed my help to give birth to your baby.
Exactly. And but yeah, just glad that to have you and Leah there to just, with your suggestions, lots of, reassuring just about breathing and then to push again and like but then that even though you're helping, but that's what I wanted. And then but it was still my pushing and but just glad that that you're there to help, you know,
Mhm.
with just the advice and the pushing.
Yeah.
But
I remember when his head came out, because you were like, "What is taking so long?" And so when his head came out, we were like, "Okay, usually on the next contraction, the rest of the baby comes," and it didn't. And we were like, "Okay, maybe on the next one." And it didn't. And we were like, "Oh, the little hand. Okay." But
yeah, then
eventually he came. Yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap up? Any words of wisdom or, anything you took from your experiences or how it shaped you or made you the parent you are?
uh, like, oh, I wish I had some. Yeah.
You're like, I would love some advice still and words of wisdom.
Yeah. As far as the birth, let's see. His I still I don't know, maybe I didn't stop to think of what would I do differently or what would I do, I don't know, next time, like, because the first one, it was just so obvious. Like the biggest thing to me was just to have the birth at home
Mhm.
and the next time. And then this one, it's just like, yeah, just I guess solidify that, like, yes, that was still so much better. So I would still, if I had another one, which I should not, but it would still be my midwife and it would still be at home. Yeah. So
And I would just say, like, picture your baby with their hands to their heart instead of up by their cheeks.
yes, there you go. That's what I would do.
It just sometimes can make for a longer experience, but you did it anyways.
Yep.
And it
So
was so special for me. It really did feel like this full circle experience to be with you. I mean, off the top of my head, I think Twyla was like the 7th birth I had ever been to.
yeah.
So it was really sweet to then get to support you all at home again. And yeah, I was very honored that you invited me into your space 2 times.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
and good
Mm.
to know that you're the first, you know,
Mhm.
like actual client, or the actual
Yeah, yeah.
being a doula. So that's pretty special. I didn't know that piece.
Yeah, and then I get to see you, in about 3 months for the 1 year because
I know.
I'm so excited to get to celebrate his first birthday.
Yay. That's
Yeah.
so that is exciting.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
know.
Well, thank you for coming on and doing the podcast with me, and, I'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Can't believe it 3 months. But yeah, you're welcome.
Mhm, bye.
Bye.
Thanks everybody for listening. You can find us at Born Wild Podcast on Instagram. For inquiries or feedback, you can email us at bornwildpodcast@gmail.com. You can find me, Emma Ray, on Instagram at Emma Ray, REA.
Sophia at sophiabirth.com.
And me, Leah, at Bay Area Home Birth.
we would really appreciate it if you would rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It helps us reach more people. And as always,
Stay wild.